Good morning, students, and Assalamu alaikum. I'm here with another lecture of chemistry that is from the book of grade 9, and the unit number 1 that is in this book that is named as fundamental chemistry. Fundamental chemistry means the basics of the chemistry. As I'm preparing you for board's examination, that is BICE, that is Board of Intermediate and Secondary Education, Rawalpindi. So here the style of questions and answering them is in such a way that for each question you have got to give 2 points. So whenever we would be writing any question, you will have to try to give 2 points because it's a 2 marks question. So at least there should be 2 points that examiner is expecting from you. The question number 1 here, what is chemistry? Also write its scope. The chemistry, it is the branch of science which deals with composition, structure, properties and reactions of matter is called chemistry. Now what is matter? That means anything that has mass and occupies space, we understand that that is a matter. Okay, but so now you name any compound, anything, any substance in this world, it will have specific properties. It will have specific composition. Let's talk about salt. Salt is represented as NaCl. That is telling us that it is made up of 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of chlorine. In the same way, water molecule is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So that is its composition. So then how is it structured? If we talk about water molecule, usually it's structured in this way. And then properties. What are the properties? Where is water used? Is it harmful? Is it harmless? Those are the properties. And then of course reactions. We have to see how something reacts. We know acids are very reactive. They are corrosive. If you put anything like metals into the acid, so that means it would be simply dissolved. So that is the reaction. Okay. On the other hand, if there are bases, compounds or stuff like soap, they are slippery. These are the properties. We know they are not going to react in that way as the acids will react. Okay. So what is chemistry? This you need to understand that it deals with every aspect of our life. You talk about anything, I'll tell you where the chemistry is involved. For example, you say let's say in us, where is it involved? Anything you eat, it gets into your body, and then there, with the help of different chemicals, it is dissolved, it is digested. We know in our stomach hydrochloric acid is generated that helps to digest our food. Okay, you say how is soap prepared? Chemistry is involved. How are these all body lotions? How are these different types of hair oils? Or anything you name, in the field of medicines, all types of stuff is prepared under chemistry. So that means it deals with every aspect of our life. Now, my dear, if you are studying biology, if you are studying chemistry, if you are studying physics, so in all the books there is a different definition as per the need of the subject given for the science. For example, if you talk about biology, if it's given there what type of knowledge is science, where observations are made, experimentation is done, and then logical conclusions are drawn. But here it's very simple. It's pretty simple. What is science or define science? The knowledge that provides us the understanding of this world and how it works. Very simple. How the things are made and how do they work, how they behave, how they work according to the science of chemistry. This is how you can say the science. Then I have written here question number 3, but most probably when you are writing it in your notebooks, you will be writing separate question for each branch, because any branch can come in your paper as a short question. On the other hand, it can also come as a long question. But I have written define branches of chemistry with their scopes. That means with their uses, with their application. The first one is physical chemistry. Now we already know what is chemistry. Now we are going to look at the physical side of the chemistry. Through physical point of view, or you can say anyways. What is physical chemistry? It's a branch of chemistry that deals with the relationship. There is a relationship between composition and properties, physical properties of a matter, and also the changes that are taking place in them. So how would we say physical chemistry? It's a branch of chemistry that deals with the composition, relationship between composition and physical properties along with changes in them. Now how? Do you know oxygen is O2? It is made up of two atoms of oxygen. Okay, when it's O2, it's oxygen. But if you change its composition, if you add one more atom of oxygen into O2, what will it become? It will become O3. So what is O3 now? Ozone. Do you think the properties of ozone and oxygen are similar? No, not at all. It will have all different properties. Melting point would be different. Boiling point would also be different. Uses would also be different. Let's talk about water. Water is H2O, made up of two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen. Repeating again. If you add one atom of oxygen into this formula, it becomes H2O2. What has it become? It has become hydrogen peroxide when it is H2O. So that means by changing the composition, the physical properties would also change and their changes will take place. So all this is studied under the branch of chemistry that is called physical chemistry. Another branch, organic chemistry. And this is branch number 2 in your course, organic chemistry. My dear, there was a time when organic chemistry was considered as the study of substances coming from just living things. It could be plants and animals. Alright? But with the passage of time, when vital force theory, that is a theory in chemistry, when that was negated, when that was rejected, so when urea was prepared in laboratory, so then the things changed. And then afterwards, organic chemistry became as a branch of science that deals with compounds of hydrogen and carbon. They are called hydrocarbons. Now, what are hydrocarbons? It's a separate question that you have to learn and write. It is usually asked as what are hydrocarbons? The compounds of hydrogen and carbon. It's a compound word. Comes from hydrogen and carbon. So we call it as hydrocarbons. Alright? Now, let's talk about sugar. What is it? Sugar. C12H22O11 is the sugar. Talk about glucose C6H12O6, it's a glucose. Okay, what are these? They both containing hydrogen and carbon are studied under the branch of chemistry called organic chemistry. And of course, there are scopes given that you can just go through and you have to mark and you have to learn those scopes as well, because one number is given for the definition and the second number will be given to you if you write the scope, if it's a short question, if it comes in your paper. Okay. And number 3, inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry. Now we said, just see, organic chemistry is the branch or the study of covalent compounds of carbon and hydrogen called hydrocarbons and their derivatives. So yeah, one thing I missed, derivatives. Derivative means something that is derived out of. I quite often give example to the student. For example, you derive milk from the animals, let's say cow or buffalo, but outside, from inside of milk, you are deriving another compound. It could be butter, it could be cheese. So that means if butter is a derivative of the milk. In the same way, you see all these petrochemicals you say petrol or diesel oil or mobile oil, etc. These all are extraction derivatives of hydrocarbon. They all are studied under the branch of chemistry called organic chemistry. Now, the next branch is inorganic chemistry. It deals with the study of all elements and their compounds except those of compounds of hydrogen and carbon. So that means, just see please, it deals with the study of all elements and their compounds except those of compounds of hydrogen and their derivatives. That means accepting the compounds of hydrogen and carbon, all the rest of the compounds of all the elements whatsoever is found in the world. So that means that is studied under a branch of chemistry called inorganic chemistry. But having said that, here I need to mention it because if many people would be watching, so later on they might be pointing out something. There are some other elements as well like nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. To some extent, they are also part of this group that is called hydrocarbons. They are involved there to some extent. But when we define inorganic chemistry, we say all the compounds of all the elements excepting hydrocarbons and their derivatives are studied under a branch of chemistry that deals with inorganic chemistry. Okay.